Hello everybody, Game Bros here, and welcome to episode 39 of Truck Simulation 19. You know, every episode we make, I get more and more elated at the fact that we're getting really deep as far as episode numbers. Of course, compared to some other series I've seen, these numbers are nothing compared to them, but anyway, let's just oh wait, no, I pressed the wrong button. I don't wanna nice player profile. But no, I want to continue with the profile I have. Whew. Anyway, I hope you guys had a wonderful Thursday. I'm saying that because right now it's like 3 minutes before 12. So I know that this episode's gonna come up when on Wednesday, very early Wednesday morning. But I still hope you guys all had a wonderful Tuesday. I had an okay Tuesday, I guess. It was okay. I think all this time being cooped up in the house, my family's starting to get to me. Yeah, I don't like being in the house. I mean, before, at least I had something to do. So, anyway. So, let's get this episode started. And let's choose a job. Okay, so we have, let's see, 2700, 5200, 5200, and 3900. Okay, so we're taking the cement for 5200. So maybe we'll make like, I don't know, 10,000 from this job. That'd be nice to make it around 10,000. I would definitely be happy with that. I would be very happy with that. Alright, easy does it. Oh, dang, what happened there? Okay, so we're going to Columbia, South Carolina. And, if I know everything correctly, there's not going to be a gas station there. So this episode might take, I'm going to estimate 25 minutes. I'm going to say 25 minutes. That's what I'm going to say. I might be right, I might be wrong, but we'll just have to find out, won't we? Alright, so as you can see, my truck is tilted just very slightly off to the side. You can see that. Oh, light screen. Because it's, as you can see, it's in the red. Yeah. I don't care, okay? Leave me alone. I don't care if I ran a red light. Bite me. I don't mean that literally. Then again, technically, what would bite me? The phone? The truck? The game? Maybe just the whole game would crash. Oh, that would be horrible. Actually, a couple times has happened to me. I'm in the middle of recording, and I think once the game just froze. And it didn't budge, and I tried everything, went out of the app multiple times, didn't budge. I eventually had to, and then finally the game crashed, and I had to start everything all over again. It was horrible. Yeah, that's not a way you want to have an episode go. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there. That's not the way you want episodes to go. I'm guessing. Okay, well. Yeah, it was green, but it was green before. I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, guess so. We're taking this load of cement. Cement is used for a plethora of things: sidewalks, driveways, just buildings. Really, it's used to make in the process of making concrete. And in the process of making reinforced concrete. Now, here's the thing that I learned when I was a kid. It's debatable. Which do you think is more sturdy? Regular concrete or reinforced concrete? Now, while reinforced concrete is stronger, I feel that the unreinforced concrete, it lasts longer because reinforced concrete, the metal is usually reinforced by metal such as iron, and over time that iron will start to rust, and and eventually lead to the collapse of whatever it's reinforcing. Because when I was a kid, I had this really cute, naive idea that even if humans if everyone died or just left the planet or something along those lines, everything would just stay exactly the same. Nothing would change. But watching the documentary / series Life of the People changed my viewpoint on that dramatically. I learned that that's not the case. That if stuff like that happened, buildings would crumble, things would start falling apart, cars would rust, and basically our world, give it some time, and our cities, towns, man-made things would no longer be there. Some cities would start reverting back to the habitats that they were originally built on. For example, Washington D.C. was built on a swamp, so more likely, if over time, Washington D.C. would revert back into a swamp. Roads would be grown over and be destroyed by plants. Plants are pretty much overgrow everything and anything. And the really sad thing are our pets, like dogs, our pet dogs. Those that can't get. First of all, those who can't get outside the house will die eventually, because they'll run out of food very quickly, things to eat. They'll die inside the house. Those who can get outside the house, it all depends on their features. Now, if typically dogs like Labradors or hunting dogs, they'll do okay because they have long legs, they can hunt, they can catch things and survive. But small dogs like bulldogs, pugs, wiener dogs, those dogs wouldn't survive at all, because let's face it, those are pretty much genetically created dogs that we've altered because we want them to look that way. And because of that, they're not going to survive very long out there. And I really, back when my family had Comcast, I really, really, really enjoyed the series. But then they ended the series, and I was kind of sad. They ended the series, but all good things must come to an end. Now I'm much more into the series. I've watched all two seasons of it, but there's a series called Drain the Oceans, which is so awesome. They had a few specials like Drain the Bermuda Triangle, Drain Alcatraz. Okay, we're on level 32. They've done Drain the Titanic. They've done, there was something else. Drain the Oceans World War II, where they discovered a bunch of World War II things, or submarines and boats, like the Bismarck. The Bismarck is an infamous, famous, very powerful German warship that was sunk by its crew because it was crippled in a battle. Yeah, it was the battleships that didn't survive World War II. Let's face it, most of them are at the ocean, and they are the defining term of the word wreck. Because you never really ever find a sunken ship in pretty much the same condition it left the docks or the launching bay, whatever it was. The only ship I could think that is remotely close to that is the Britannic. The Britannic was the third and final ship of the Olympic class ships. And originally the name was going to be Gigantic, but after the whole Titanic fiasco, they changed its name. They changed its name to Britannic. And the Britannic was originally a passenger ship, but before the Britannic could even before the Britannic could even think about carrying passengers, it was World War II had started, so it was turned into a hospital ship, and went all over the Mediterranean, helping out the Allies and stuff like that. Unfortunately, the Britannic, one fateful morning, hit a mine, tore a huge hole in the side of the ship, and it sank within minutes. The unfortunate end to the ship. Now, ironically, out of the 3 Olympic-class ships, the only one to survive, to basically survive, the only one that was scrapped, which basically, that's what they do when ships reach the end of their lifetime or usage, was the Olympic. The Olympic was the only one that didn't sink out of the 3. So if any ship was actually unsinkable, it should have been the Olympic. But the Britannic, if you compare the wreckage of the Titanic with the wreckage of the Britannic, there are some crazy differences. First of all, the wreck of the Titanic is split in two, as the ship split in two as a result of its sinking. However, the ship is upright. However, because of the size of the hull of the Britannic and how water flooded in, the ship sunk on its side, but it's in one piece, and the hull is in remarkably accurate position. If you want to get a good idea of what the Titanic would have looked like in one piece, not that you don't have artist renditions, take a look at the wreck of the Britannic, because the hull is magnificently still in one piece. And speaking of the Titanic, actually, there's a conspiracy theory involving the Titanic that, now, you'll notice, it's ironic that the Titanic, which was supposed to be unsinkable, sunk. But the Olympic, which was never claimed to be unsinkable, never sunk. So there's a conspiracy theory that the Olympic and the Titanic, at some point during the Titanic's construction, they were switched. That the Olympic, okay, so we made 10.9K. That the Olympic, here's some of the evidence. Let me back up. So, now we don't want to go to the closest garage. We want to go to the closest gas station. So, some of the evidence for this conspiracy theory are, one, first of all, ooh man, I hit the trailer there. First of all, the Titanic, the Titanic's nameplate. The Titanic's nameplate had been, how do I put it? I'm sorry, I'm losing my thought. The Titanic's nameplate was, when early during its construction, was set in one place. Now, these weren't the nameplates. You couldn't just move a nameplate. This required work. But a few months later, a different picture was taken, and the nameplate had been moved. Now, that's one piece of evidence that the two ships had been switched. Now, you might be asking, why on earth would the White Line switch the two ships? Well, a couple months earlier, what had happened was that the Olympic had been in an accident with a small warship. It had punctured the side of the ship, and the stern part of the ship, in between the third and fourth funnels. You'll see where I'm going with this later. Now, they didn't have time to fix the ship right then and there, so they just did a quick patch job. Now, they said that they sunk. It is said, through this conspiracy theory, that to make some money, because that accident cost them quite a bit of money, to make some money off of the quote unquote Olympic, they came up with a plan. They renamed the Olympic the Titanic, and renamed the Titanic the Olympic. They sent the quote unquote Titanic out on her quote unquote maiden voyage, And at the same time, the iceberg that the ship hit, the iceberg ship was actually a ship that was put there. So basically, the White Star Line sunk the ship on purpose. And it would stand to reason that since the Titanic was supposedly unsinkable, and the Olympic, which had been switched with the Titanic, never sank. So that's some information conspiracy theorists use for this situation. Now, personally, I don't believe that they would do this because it's stupid. I mean, I don't like conspiracy theorists, even though I'm talking about conspiracy theory, because they challenge what you know, what you did know, and what you do know. And they can make. And I remember reading this for the first time; it was very confusing. Um, yeah, I'm a huge Titanic enthusiast. I have books upon books upon books about the Titanic. I love the story of the Titanic, and it's a tragic story, tragic tale of basically pride over confidence and injustice. Really, over 1,500 people died on that in one night, and it was just really sad. Another thing was. That actually previously there had been previously, like that same week but earlier, there had been an accident on a steamboat in the U.S. on the Mississippi River that 2,000 people died in that, but because the Titanic was such more popular, I suppose, that was completely overshadowed by the fact that the Titanic, the unsinkable ship, had sunk. And a couple people, lots of famous people went down with the ship. John Jacob Astor, I believe, went down with the ship. If that was his name. I know his last name was Astor. Let's see. The Captain Smith went down with the ship. Thomas Andrews, the designer of the Titanic, went down with the ship. They all went down with the ship. So, yeah, a lot of people went down the ship. Anyway, so I'm done. I'm sorry, I'm done talking. I talked about the Titanic and documentaries the entire time. I apologize. Hope you guys enjoyed my little little tidbit of Titanic knowledge. Which I mostly talk about the conspiracy theory out of anything, but anyway. So once again, guys, hope you guys had a wonderful Tuesday. Make sure to look out for today's or for Wednesday's episode. I will be making an episode, mind you. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, destroy it. If you got something you want to something you want to say, constructive feedback, something like that, all that jazz, make sure to leave it in the comments. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel, as this is an ongoing series. And I'm just really happy. I'm really happy right now because I think it was today. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but I'm pretty sure it was just today. I got 1 subscriber, and you don't know how happy that one person made me. The fact that I haven't had a person subscribe to me in years. So the fact that someone subscribed to me is amazing. So thank you, whoever you are. So with that said, with this, as usual, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean, wash those hands, stay healthy, stay alive, stay out of the hospital. And a little tidbit: if you do find it hard to breathe, don't lay down. I heard that it tricks you into the coronavirus tricks you into feeling that once you lay down, everything's great, but when you stand up, you're in a lot of pain. If you're in that situation, get yourself to the hospital immediately. Just saying. Anyway, guys, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.